Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Don't forget to leave a comment on the video. Yeah, it helps out the channel a lot. It helps out the algorithm and lets the AI overlords know that basically people are watching. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. It seems we are in some kind of a, the word's not time warp, more so blasts from the past. A lot of the news we've been getting a week and a half, 2 weeks, not every day. There's been a pretty healthy amount of news that sounds like stuff from 2018, 2019, 2021 regarding a number of coins and projects, what things are meant to be, how they're developing. If you've been here, you've seen it, or you've noticed some of it. A lot of what we're getting is kind of like it's not even a 2.0, it's like a 5.0 of this basic discussion that we've been having. You're going to see this one if you've been here for a while. You're going to go, that sounds oddly familiar. Ethereum's in the news. Yeah. Not for what you think, though. It's actually something, it's a tale as old as time. Previously, Ethereum had a core idea as to what it wanted to be, what it was meant for, what it was supposed to do. Ethereum, Cardano, Tron, and two other coins back in 2017, 18, 19, and 2020 kind of kept on telling us, the public, that they had upgrades and updates, and this was going to change, and they were going to have a soft fork and a hard fork, and this was going to... That became a really weird trend amongst the top 20 cryptocurrency projects at the time, where they would tell us in January, hey, we have an update coming, it's going to come out soon. By the time we get to the end of February, they go, coming out soon. By the time we get to the middle of March, they go, guess what? Coming out soon. And then we get all the way to around like July, and they go, okay, here we go. All the test nets are over. We're going to launch it. It's happening in... blah, blah, blah. What'd you just say? It's happening in... blah, blah, blah. They would say around November, and then we wouldn't actually get that upgrade until like March the next year. Once again, I'm not a developer. However, there were these really weird hype cycles, like literal hype cycles of companies. And I think Cardano did it best at the time. Cardano was, if you don't remember their original roadmap, it was like full of colors. So they were like, guess what? We've moved on to purple. Pink is tomorrow. And I was like, what do these things actually mean? And they kept on telling us that they had this thing and then this step. And then they started naming them people. There was like an Aristotle. There was a blah, 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 all these. I mean, really, like their roadmap just kind of looked redonkulous for a very long time. So we haven't had this kind of like energy that we used to have around upgrades and updates. And like these things used to have an effect on price. Hearing that something was going to be released would raise prices a good 10, 15, 20% on the actual release of said thing. We'd see a healthy little push up in price. Ethereum has this year and last year, if you've consistently watched the videos, there's been a really weird thing where we didn't hear about the project for a while. We knew that this would be activated, that would take place. But this year, for some reason, and I imagine why, we started to hear this upgrade is going to happen. We're going to be working on this. This is so and so and so. This is, and I mean, it was like twice a week at some point where they were just talking about all these things that they were going to have. I think this has been accelerated by all the money and energy that's currently floating around Ethereum. In case you missed it, we have been told that dozens upon dozens of central banks around the world are working on their own stable coins, and that they're going to be putting them on top of the Ethereum network. As such, we've had a tremendous amount of price predictions for Ethereum. If you don't remember the beginning of this year, we had a couple of analytical companies, yada, 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 who told us, yeah, we're expecting maybe for Ethereum to hit 3,500 by December. Remember those? Yeah, there was no hope out of nowhere for Ethereum. That turned into 4,500. That turned into 7,000. That turned into 10,000. And I'm sure many of you were here when we got those 25,000, 30,000. And I think the most recent one was like $62,000 Ether, based off of all of the information that we've been getting. So, in the name of having to do this as quickly as possible, because people's attention spans, as far as like investors within the space, can be kind of wobbly. You might be the second largest coin and the most used blockchain, but other chains and other coins can do relatively similar things. So you got to make sure that you kind of like pump out stuff as soon as possible. Ethereum developers have now officially set the 3rd of December as the mainnet activation date for their Fusaka upgrade, nudging forward a timeline that had been expected to extend well into 2026. Wouldn't you believe it? Yeah. All these billions of dollars flowing Ethereum's way has kind of caused, a speed up in all of the actual development. We have heard for a while now that Ethereum back in 2021 was going to have 10,000 transactions per second. That was going to be 100,000 transactions per second by 2025. And, by 2032, boy, howdy, we'd have over a million. These are real numbers. 1 million transactions per second. So this year, we've heard a lot about upgrades and I guess they're combining all of them together, for lowering fees, for speeding up transactions, for more transaction batching, for more transactions per second. Like, you really name it. Like, everything has been in this box. So apparently, I assume the money told them we don't have until summer 2026 for this. So now apparently this is going to happen on the 3rd of December. This decision came after testing on the Fusaka DevNet number 5, which highlighted some software bugs and setup errors that cut short the time developers had to measure data capacity. According to a summary from researcher Christine Kim, during the brief period when the testnet was stable, developers agreed to raise blob capacity in 2 steps. Sure, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Another Ethereum testnet called DevNet 6, I could have figured that one out, will be launched soon to double check these numbers before they go live on public testnets and mainnet per the call logs. They said, and I do quote, Ethereum's decision to accelerate Fusaka reflects the urgency of scaling rollups and delivering cheap, fast transactions at scale. Yeah. So while I personally believe that Ethereum in all of its digital glory will be around for a while, many other chains can do the exact same thing. It's just they don't have like the amount of people on that network. That can change very fast. People can choose other networks to go to, or they can, go to other networks that can already do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 transactions per second. So this is basically like a literal speed up of the speed up. If you are having discussions that there are going to be 35 random number banks around the world who are going to be each putting, trillions of dollars moving through your network. That's 35 trillion moving through your network every month. You can't really do that with like 30 transactions per second. So, oddly enough, this was very popular news. It has been a while since we've had like popular news. We used to have stuff like this. Once again, blast from the past. Ethereum being in the news all the time. Ethereum talking about an upgrade to the system. What? And also, we used to get really popular news. It seems like every other day. It doesn't really happen that much anymore. I understand there's 8 quadrillion things happening every single couple of hours. But yeah, this, and I don't know what's going to happen. However, this should lend a huge amount of movement to the price. Whenever we've had stuff like this before, for like a really strong activation of an upgrade, they usually kind of batch everything together, then throw it all out at the same time. We do see prices move up dramatically for Ethereum. We are still looking to the sky, as it were, as we have heard for quite some time now that Ethereum is going above $10,000 to $12,000 over the course of this year, and this seems like this might actually do it. The 3rd of December is also like chef's kiss. December is normally historically the year after the halving, when prices are like rumbling upward. On the 3rd of December, if we hear that Ethereum now has this transactions per second, it can do this is faster, this is so-and-so, that could easily throw us right into the $10,000 territory. Yeah, very interesting. That's the Ethereum. Let's see, 3rd of December. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, okay, I'm not knocking it. It's been a while since we've gotten one of these. It's just more of the how this will take place and what will come of it. Kyrgyzstan, a key emerging player in Central Asia's crypto market, has apparently advanced a bill to establish a state cryptocurrency reserve. Yeah. And support the growth of the wider digital asset industry. It has been a while since any country has announced this openly. We've had a couple of bills that were put forth it was Czech Republic and 5 other countries around the world. Many of them fizzled out in some sort of way or capacity. But it's been quite a while since we've heard the advancement of a bill. People said yay initially, and then it's kind of continued going forward. Kyrgyz lawmakers have passed amendments to a bill on virtual assets in 3 readings at once, officially cementing terms like state crypto reserve and another one being state mining. The parliament announced on Wednesday. If you haven't seen, you must have. I've ranted and raved about this for I don't know how long. Countries are mining Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. You should have. I've been saying it. It's the same exact thing with the staking. This is getting really big, really fast. These governments around the world who are choosing to openly, loudly adopt, absorb, collect crypto, they're all mining it as well. We had rumors about that, 6-7 years ago about Middle Eastern countries. We had rumors about Dubai since 2017, 2018 being in the cryptocurrency space. And one of the rumors was, they're mining their own Bitcoin. And because these people didn't get on stage in front of a podium and announce to everyone that they were doing it, a lot of people just didn't believe it. And it's they're rich, right? How they have money and they want to make more money. If someone from it's not just random companies who are getting into this, a lot of other places on the planet have decided to get into this. Why do you think, remember when we were talking about the whole thing with Hong Kong? Why do you think they got crypto regulation like that? It didn't take 3 years. There wasn't a whole I don't know, maybe we should. No, These people know what's coming, and you should as well, as we keep going over this every single day. Presented by the Economy and Commerce Minister Bakiat Sidikov, the bill addresses multiple aspects of Kyrgyzstan's crypto adoption, including establishing a legal framework for the issuance and circulation of stablecoins, tokenized real-world assets, and state-run industry operations. If you missed it, stablecoins are like the big thing this year. They won't stop talking about it. No one uses the term central bank digital currency. They only say stablecoins now. We've had a multitude of news from banks about Ethereum, about Ripple, you name it, about tokenizing assets on the planet. This is the next step in digitization. People are talking about digitizing everything and putting their value on chain so that you can fractionalize it, and it can be sold, and it can be bought, and it can be traded in real time. Tokenizing real world assets is going to be one of the main discussions next year. Really, like, wait and see. It is going to be absolutely monstrously huge. Talking about digitizing everything. We had some of that in 2022. I think it was. There were a number of museums, but there was one in particular who had, I think they digitized some famous artwork, and I think they sold like 10,000. So like they made it into 10,000 pieces as an NFT, and people own portions of this like very famous like artwork now. And one of the ideas would be you can pass it on to other people as it gains value, obviously, but should an auction house or someone else, whatever, and they sell it, you would then get a portion of that sale as well. Like, this is the way that the world is moving. So once again, make sure everyone's actually paying attention. They said a crypto reserve would allow the state to accumulate its own assets in cryptographic form through crypto mining, as well as tokenization of real-world assets and issuance of stablecoins backed by fiat currency. The ministry reportedly said at a committee meeting earlier this week. Yes, my friends, we are in the future. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay. It's just a matter of everyone out there also realizing it as well. It has been a while since we had a country openly announcing that they were planning on doing this. Much of the future, if not all of it, is in some way or shape or form going to be digital. Yeah, everyone, this is picking up quite quick. I'm very fascinated to see what November and December hold for this market. Just simply because there's a lot taking place at any given time, and expectations of prices rising higher continue to be quite strong. I personally have some conviction or ideas as to what the market is going to do in November and December. As far as like, I think the market will probably have a big push upward. And then I think there will be a downtrend, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as crazy as we've seen during other cycles, if they still exist. We keep being told none of this is real anymore. It's all our imagination. Yeah. I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting the channel. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.